श्रीमद् भागवतम की। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्यं नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवति उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी. Today we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 11, Chapter 4, the Incarnations of Godhead. Text number 1. Shri Raja Uvacha Yani Yani Iha Karmani Yaihi Yaihi Swachanda Janmabhihi Chakre Karoti Karta Va Harihi Tani Bruvantu. Shri Raja Uvacha Yani Yani hi karmani Yair Yaihi Swachanda Janmabhihi Chakre Karoti Kartava Haristani Bruvantunaha. Shri Raja Uvacha Yani Yani ha karmani Yair Yaihi Swachanda Janmabhihi Chakre Karoti Kartava Haristani Bruvantunaha. Ya Shri Raja Vacha Yani Yani ha karmani Yair Yaihi Swachanda Janmabhihi Chakre Karoti Kartava Haristani Bruvantunaha. बोलिए. माताजी. Shri Raju Vacha. The king said, Yani Yani, each, Iha, in this world, Karmani, of the activities, Yaihi, by each, Swachanda, assumed independently, Janmabihi, of the appearances, Chakre, he performed, Karoti, is performing, Karta, will perform, Va, or Harihi, the Supreme Lord Hari, Tani, these, Bruvantu, please tell, Naha, us. Translation purport. King Nimi said the Supreme Personality of Godhead descends into the material world by his internal potency and according to his own desire. Therefore, please tell us about the various pastimes of Lord Hari has performed in the past. He is performing now and will perform in this world in the future in his various incarnations. Purport. In the fourth chapter of Bhagavad-gita, fourth chapter of the son Jayanti, Drumila will address King Nimi. The 48th verse of the third chapter stated, Murtya abhimatyaya atmanaha. One should worship the particular form of the Lord, most attractive to oneself. Similarly, it was stated in the previous chapter, Stavehi stuvaname dharim. One should bow down to the Lord Hari after glorifying him with prayers. Thus, it is assumed that worshipper has knowledge of the Supreme Lord's transcendental qualities and pastimes in order to execute the process of worship previously described. King Nimi, therefore, is eagerly inquiring about the various incarnations of the Supreme Lord so that he can ascertain which particular form of the Supreme Lord is most suitable for his personal worship. It is understood that King Nimi is a Vaishnava or devotee who is trying to advance in the transcendental loving service of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. It is important to note in this regard that the word Abhimata Murti means one's most desirable form, does not indicate that one may concoct a form of the Lord by one's own whims. Advaitam Achyutam Anadim Anantarupam. All the forms of the Supreme Lord are Anadim or eternal. Thus, there is no question of concocting a form because such concoction would be Adi or the origin of the concocted form. Abhimata Murti means that among the eternal forms of the Lord, one should select that form from which most inspires one's love for the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Such love cannot be imitated, but it is automatically aroused when one follows the prescribed rules and regulations given by the bona fide spiritual master and submissively hears these descriptions of Srimad Bhagavatam. Om Ajnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vancha Kalpatarobhyascha Kripa Sindhubhyayevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadara, Srivasadi Gaurabhakta Vrinda, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishnaya Vasudevaya, Devaki Nandanaya cha, Nandagopakumaraya, Govindaya Namo Namaha, Namaha Pankajanabhaya, Namaha Pankajamaline, Namaha Pankajanetraya, Namaste Pankajangraye. So this chapter titled Incarnations of Godhead. In Bhagavad-gita, 4th chapter, Lord Krishna gave Avatar Rahasya. Avatar Rahasya. When he spoke, Imam Vivashvate Yogam, Proktavan Aham Avyayam, Vivashvan Manave Praha, Manurikshvakave Abravit. Evam Parampara Praptam, Imam Rajarshya Vidhu, Sakalene Mahata, Yogo Nasta, Saevayam Mayatedya, Yoga Proktaha, Puranaha, Bhaktosime Sakhaseti, Rahasyam hi Edadattam. Right? These three verses Krishna spoke, Imam Vivashvate Yogam. Then he said, yoga system is contaminated, spoiled, lost. That's why I am speaking to you again, because you are my devotee. Bhaktosime Sakha Seti. Rahasyam. You know? Why it is called Rahasyam? Krishna is openly saying it. There are so many Gitas are published, right? So many people have commented, and everywhere you open the internet, you will get Bhagavad Gita. Why it is Rahasyam? What is your name? Arjun Das. Why it is Rahasyam? Because Srila Prabhupada explains in 6th canto, 3rd chapter, that verse is there, no? Swayambhu Narada Sambhu. In that purport, Prabhupada explains, this is Rahasyam. You know, there also Yamaraj says, Guhyam Vishuddham Durbodham. He used that word, Yajnatva Amritamasnute. Right? So there Prabhupada writes, unless you receive this knowledge from a bona fide spiritual master in Parampara, this is Rahasyam. That is why it is Rahasyam. Even though it is English language, printed, so many people they read. Sarvepalli Radhakrishna also read. Right? Prabhupada said, he said, oh, they see that there is a different Krishna, you know, like that. You know, you don't have to surrender to Krishna. Inside Krishna, Brahman is there. Mr. Gandhi also read Bhagavad Gita. Then he made a statement also. Whenever I am in trouble, I read Bhagavad Gita. But what is his conclusion? If this personality encouraged Arjuna to become violent, even though he is unwilling, and if this personality danced with other men's wives, I don't accept him as God. That means he didn't understand. Right? Prabhupada said, even though he is a very great man, Gandhiji, then political commentary, you know, Prabhupada spoke about Tilak, you know, Bal Gangadhar Tilak, so many people, right? What's his name? Rabindranath Tagore, you know, Prabhupada is saying, to me, Prabhupada was quoting, you know, Shravanam Kirtana Vishnu, Shravanam Shrunvanti Gayanti Grunanti, that was Queen Kunti's prayers. To me, who is that to me, rascal? To me, that to me doesn't have name. Because they didn't follow their parampara system. They didn't approach a spiritual master. They didn't understand confidential knowledge. Then Arjuna asked, Aparam bhavato janma, param janma vivashvate, katam etad vijaniyam, tamahu proktavaniti. Hare, how you are saying that you spoke Bhagavad Gita to Vivashvan? He is 28 Divyugas pehle janma hua tha. Right? So he was so old. You came, you are my contemporary. How do I understand that, you know, You spoke Bhagavad-gita, right? Then Krishna says, Bahuni me vyatitani janmani tavacharjuna tani aham veda sarvani natvam veta parantapa. Said, you and I, Arjuna, we have taken many, many births. You forget, but I don't forget because my body is avyaya. Right? Prabhupada says one very interesting thing, that out of all 5 Pandavas and Queen Kunti Maharani and Arjuna, they are eternal associates in this material world. Means Kunti Maharani and Arjuna, they never go back to Godhead. They never go back to Godhead. They, wherever Krishna goes, they go there. Others, they went back to Godhead. But Arjuna forgot. We forget. But Krishna says, I don't forget. I don't forget. Why? Because my body is avyaya. Right? If I ask you what you have eaten yesterday, you will forget. You can't recollect what all you have eaten. Right? So many things we forget. Very little things only we remember from our childhood, from youth, like that. Because the body constantly is changing. Constantly is changing. That's why. So, but Krishna's body doesn't change. So, in that next verse, he says, Ajopi san avyayatma, bhutanam ishwaropi san, prakritim swam adhisthaya, sambhavami atmamayaya. Right? Sambhavami atmamayaya. So, this verse is very, very important, Ajopi api means even though I am unborn, Ajopi san, avyayatma, even though my body is imperishable, Ajopi san avyayatma, bhutanam ishwaropi san. I am the controller of all living entities. Then by keeping the material nature under my control, Sambhavami Atmamayaya, I appear again and again. So Ajopi san avyayatma, bhutanam ishwaropi san. Right? So this is very important. We should know the difference between our birth and Krishna's birth. Even though he is unborn, his body is imperishable, he appears. So we take birth, under the control of material nature. But Krishna appears by his own. So Prabhupada writes, here Atmamaya means love. Maya, Prabhupada says, sometimes Maya means, illusion. One word. Another meaning of the word Maya is out of love. So out of love for all of us, Krishna appears. Okay? So Sambhavami Atmamaya. There is one very famous Alvar. He is the first Alvar. Before Kali Yuga he appeared. Krishna, I think after 10 years after Krishna he appeared, something like that. While he was writing Prabandhas, Divya Prabandhas, while describing the Krishna's birth, he fainted. For 6 months he went into ecstasy. My dear Lord, ordinary people, when their son is born, they celebrate, dhoom dham se, with pomp and gaiety. But why you appeared very secretly in the jail cell, Kal Kotri of Kamsa, without any fanfare, and even Vasudev, usually the parents' father becomes so ecstatic when the son is born that he gives huge charity to Brahmanas and all. But Vasudev, your father, could not give any charity physically. And then Mother Devaki was crying, please, withdraw your form. Kamsa will kill you. What is this, my dear Lord, Vidambana? What kind of Leela you performed? How, Saulabhya avatar, Krishna, so you are so wonderful that you appeared like this. Thinking like that, he went into ecstasy for 6 months. 6 months. Why does Krishna appear in the middle of the night? Kuratalvar says, those who are sleeping, they cannot understand Krishna. Right? Those who are sleeping, what is that? Yanisha sarvabhutani tasyam jagrati samyami. Yanisha yasyam jagrati bhutani sanisha pashyate mune. So those who are sleeping, they cannot understand Krishna. One Periyalvar, he explains that when Krishna comes to steal butter in the middle of the night, then everybody was, previously there were no lock and keys, in Vrindavan. Once some of the gopis, they came to complain to Mother Yashoda. Yashoda Ma, keep your son locked. Because he's stealing butter everywhere, all the time, he completely steals our butter. He completely empties all the stock. We are all very worried, troubled. Why don't you keep your son locked? Then Mother Yashoda said, why don't you lock, keep your doors locked? Like, in Ayodhya, it is said, there are two people are not there, two things are not there. One is Dani, means charitable persons are not there in Ayodhya. And then another thing is, no lock factories are there. No talas are available. So Mother Yashoda was saying, then all the gopis were saying, for the sake of your one boy, we have to purchase, there are 5 lakh people who are living in Vrindavan at that time, Gokul. We have to purchase 5 lakh, talas, gadis. Why don't you better, lock your son? So that we can sleep on the veranda, in our childhood, we didn't have ACs and all, So we used to sleep outside in the veranda or on the terrace. When I joined New Bhakta, I used to sleep on the terrace. So nice breeze used to come. Right? After some time, there is one devotee, sannyasi. One batch of beautiful girls came from Los Angeles. So he fell in love with one girl. Then she bol diya. Then he committed suicide. Then everybody is afraid, Bhoot ban gaya, everybody, we are all afraid to go on the terrace. Anyway. So Krishna would come, then he would say, Hare, I was working so hard, stealing butter and all. These people are sleeping very, peacefully. Karate marte hue. I should not let them sleep like that. Then, what he would do? He would pinch on the child. The child would start crying. And then everybody would wake up. And the father, husband would chastise his wife. Arey, ठीक से देखभाल नहीं करती है क्या? ऐसे अरे सिर्फ मेरा ही बच्चा है क्या? तुम्हारा बच्चा नहीं है? Both of them start fighting. And because of that fighting, everybody would wake up. The whole house would wake up. Krishna is satisfied. We should not let them sleep. Right? Like that. There, so Krishna Krishna took birth, he incarnated like that. So anyway, Vasudev, after seeing Krishna, he did Godan. Right? He did Godan. Mentally he did Godan. So Harishauriji writes, those who are reading every year Krishna Janma, Charitra, they also should do Godan. You are a brahmachari, how will you go to Godan? Huh? Nallikant Prabhu? You are a brahmachari, how will you do Godan? So Harishauri ji, he explains that Godan means, another meaning of go are the senses. So all the devotees who study Krishna Janma Leela, they should do Godan. That means they should give their senses to Krishna. Then Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says, Manmana bhav madbhakto madhyaji mam namaskuru mame vesha satyam te pratijani priyosime. So in that purport, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur writes, you give me your mind and senses to me, I will give myself to you. Right? I will give myself to you. Like that. So we should enjoy hearing Krishna's pastimes of, how Krishna took birth. Right? How Krishna took birth. So then Krishna says, Yada yada hi dharmasya glani bhavati bharata apyuthana madharmasya tadatmanam srujamyaham paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya cha dushkritam dharma sansthapanarthaya sambhavami yuge yuge janma karma cha me divyam evam yo vetti tattvataha tyaktva deham punarjanma naiti mam etiso arjuna vitaraga bhaya krodha manmaya mam upashita pahavo jnana tapasa puta bhavamagataha ye yata mam prapadyante tam stataiva jamyaham mama vartmanu vartante manushya partha sarvasya. You should remember all these verses from first one to 12, 13, 12, 11 I think. This is Avatar Rahasya, right? So in this one Acharya comments that when you read Bhagavad-gita, what do you experience? Huh? What do you experience? You see the picture of Krishna driving the chariot of Arjuna. Is it not? You think that is actually real reading of Bhagavad-gita. Right? When you read Bhagavad-gita, you should see the picture of Krishna riding the chariot. Right? That chavi, that rupa should appear in your heart. When you read Krishna book, when you hear Krishna's childhood pastimes, 10th canto, what do you experience? You should see Krishna in Vrindavan. Right? In Vrindavan. Every day we should remember, Damodar Leela. Right? And then see that picture of, Krishna innocently crying, being tied by rope of Mother Yashoda, love, and to Ukkal. That chavi, should be in your heart all the time. Then you pray to Damodar, hey Damodar, first one is, you are bound, but you are so merciful, you are ready to give liberation to everybody, even though you are bound. Let all these wonderful, your childhood pastimes manifest in my heart. You should pray every day. Like that. So one Acharya comments that whenever you read Bhagavad-gita, then paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya dushkritam dharma sansthapanarthaya sambhavami yuge yuge. Yuge yuge means time to time. Time to time. So whenever you read Bhagavad-gita, Krishna takes incarnation in your heart. Whenever you read Krishna book or hear Krishna's pastimes, Krishna appears in your heart. Is it not? So what is he doing? Paritranaya sadhuna vinashaya cha dushkritam dharma samsthapanarthaya sambhavami yuge yuge. Please remember this. So we have paritranaya sadhuna vinashayate dushkritam. We have bad qualities in our heart. We have good qualities in our heart. Right? So when Krishna appears in our heart, time to time, whenever you read Bhagavad-gita, whenever you read Krishna book, Krishna protects our good qualities and Krishna destroys our bad qualities and establishes dharma, this knowledge that I am an eternal servant of Krishna. समझ में आया? समझ में आया? ईशान गौर प्रभु, did you understand? Huh? You didn't understand? Vishnu Tattva Prabhu, did you understand? Explain to you. समझ में आया? जन्म कर्म च मे दिव्यम एवं यो वेत्य तत्वतः त्यक्त्वा देहम पुनर्जन्म नैति माम एतिसो अर्जुन. My birth and my activities are divya, transcendental. So Sri Ramanujacharya comments, div means kanti. Kanti means knowledge. Right? So my appearance and my activities give knowledge to the devotees. When you get that knowledge, when you understand that my birth and my activities are transcendental, he will not take birth again when he gives up this body. In this regard, Vitaraga Bhayakroda Manmaya Mam Upashita Bahavo Jnana Tapasa Putamad Bhavamagataha. Right? Vitaraga Bhayakroda. Sri Ramanuja comments, Jnana Tapasa means, actually there are many kinds of tapasya. Right? Voluntarily accepting troubles. And then another tapasya is following varnashrama dharma, that is also tapas. Tapa alochanena, that is another tapas. And Sri Ramanuja says that Jnana Tapasa means one should do thorough research. One should do thorough research how Krishna's birth and activities are transcendental. And then come to conclusion that Krishna's birth and activities are transcendental, divya. Then Ramanuja says that you will become like Krishna. You will attain the nature of Krishna. What is the nature of Krishna? Nature of Krishna is to become free from raga, dvesha and krodha. Vitaraga, bhaya, krodha. Raga, bhaya and krodha. Krishna is transcendental. Then what happens? Then Sri Ramanuja says that ye yathamam prapadyante tam sthitayo bhajamyaham mama vartmanu vartante manusha partha sarvashaha. Those people who understand and who are fixed in this understanding that my activities and my janma is transcendental, I will make their janma and their activities also transcendental. Like Prabhupada. Those who think that my activities and my janma is material, and those rascals who think that my body is sattvaguna when I appear, I will, again, ye yathamam prapadyante, I will push them into cycle of birth and death. Again and again, they will take birth. Right? This is how you have to understand all these verses. समझ में आया? समझ में आया? Ishan Gaur Prabhu, समझ में आया? I have to say it again. Huh? Yeah. So you do research. When I read this, I think I should. The same thing Prabhupada writes in 7th canto, 5th chapter. 23, 24, that verse, Shravanam Kirtanam Vishnu Smaranam Pada Sevanam Archanam Vandanam Dasyam Sakhyam Atmanivedanam. So, Prabhupada writes in Smaranam category, he says, take up a form of the Lord and then do research. Do research. And then you do dhyana. And then nididhyasa. Then start meditating on that form of the Lord. Prabhupada, right? You can go and read. Right? So I was thinking I should do research. Then I did a lot of research on Krishna's pastimes. Research means I've read a lot. So many pastimes. Krishna Tattva. Again and again I've read Krishna book. Then again and again I read Vishnu Thakur's commentary on 10th Canto Bhagavatam, Gopal Champu, Anand Vrindavan Champu, then many Sri Vaishnava literatures, because I am a Telugu man, there's a lot of Namalvar, Peri Alvar, all of them, they wrote so much, Kurattalvar, they wrote so much about Krishna, Parasara Bhatta. I have read. So I am convinced Krishna's birth and activities are transcendental. Like that. So, all these incarnations, I will quote one verse from 10th Canto, 2nd chapter. Sattvam Vishuddham Shrayate Bhavan Stitau Sharirinam Shreya Upayanam Upashraya Vapu Veda Kriyayam Yoga Tapa Samadhibhi Tava Arhanam Yena Jana Samihase. So, demigods, they came to Devaki Devi's jail cell and they were offering prayers. Right? Satya Vratam Satya Param Trisatyam Satyasya Yonim Nihitam Cha Satye Satyasya Satyam Druta Satya Netram Satyatmakam Tvam Sharanam Prapade. All of you remember this verse, okay? And then every day when you come in front of the Lord, offer this prayer. Right? It's your homework, today's homework. So Sri Jiva Goswami writes in 10th Canto Bhagavatam commentary, of all 18,000 verses, this is the most beautiful verse. Shloka Sreshta. Shloka Sreshta. Satyavratam. 10th Canto, 2nd chapter, I think 26th verse. Right? So Satyavratam Satyaparam Trisatyam Satyasya Yonim Nihitam Cha Satye Satyasya Satyam Ruta Satya Netram Satyatmakam Tvam Sharanam Prapade. All these wonderful prayers we should by heart, all the brahmacharis, they should by heart these verses and offer in front of the Lord. Right? Then Satyam Sattvam Vishuddham Shayate Bhavan Stito. He says, my dear Lord, whatever incarnations you take, they are all transcendental. Sattvam Vishuddham Shrayate Bhavan Stito. This is not material. Why do you come? Veda Kriya Yoga Tapa Samadhivi. In order to establish Vedic principles, in order to establish yogic principles, in order to establish devotional principles, yoga, Veda Kriya, Yoga, Tapa, then in order to establish how to do meditation. So Vishnu Thakur comments that brahmacharis, they should study Vedas. Right? Grahasthas, they should do Kriya Yoga. Veda Kriya, Kriya Yoga. And Vanaprasthas, they should do austerities, tapasya. Sannyasis, they should do samadhi. So Krishna appears in various incarnations to, like Naranarayan Rishi, he came to show us, how to do tapasya. Lord Kapila appeared to establish Sankhya Yoga. Right? Like that. So various incarnations, they appear, but they are all transcendental. Right? Sattvam na chet datar idam nijam bhavet. Vijnanam ajnana vidhavimarjanam. Right? So this verse, very important verse. Next verse. It says that, my dear Lord, you appear in a transcendental body. Unless you appear in your transcendental form, people will not understand the difference between material form and transcendental form. And they will not understand that, how your activities are transcendental. So Vishnu Jagataguru writes in the commentary that anybody who understands that Krishna's body is transcendental, he will get love of God. Right? He will get love of God. So it is, that is why the Lord appears, but all his incarnations, they are transcendental. Right? Whether it is Varahadev, Matsya Avatar, Kurma Avatar, right? All of them, they are transcendental. So, then why so many incarnations? Why so many forms? Right? So, many times I quoted this verse, Darshanam no didrukshanam, Dehi Bhagavatarchaye, Rupam Priyatamam Swanam, Sarvendre Gunanjanam. Lord Shiva, he is praying to the Lord, that, my dear Lord, please show me your wonderful form, which is worshipped by your pure devotees. So Prabhupada writes, which is that form that everybody, all the pure devotees, they worship? Shyamsundara form. Right? Once the Lord appeared, Lord Ramchandra appeared in front of Bilvamangal Thakur. Bilvamangal Thakur closed his eyes. Lord Ramchandra said, hey, Thakur, Bilvamangal, open your eyes. You're not offering me obeisances? No. Why? No, I don't want to. I don't want to see you. I said, why? No. Hare, you see me? I am the same Lord, Ramchandra, Krishna. No. Then if you are the same Lord, then give up your Dhanush Band and serious mentality. And take a flute and then stand in Trimanga form. Then I will offer obeisances. Ishtadeva Spurti, everywhere, that is, everybody worships the form that they like. They worship. And then Krishna appears in that form. Right? He appears in that form. There, third kind of Bhagavatam, 9th chapter, 11th verse. Prabhupada quoted many times this shloka. Tvam bhakti yoga paribhavita hrit saroja ase sutekshita pato nanunata pumsha yaddad dhiyo vibhavayasi yaddad dhiyo urugaya vibhavayanti taddad dhiyo vapuse pranayase sadanugrahaya. Right? So very beautiful verse. Tvam bhakti yoga paribhavita hrit saroja ase srutekshita pato nanunata pumsham. Srutekshita, Prabhupada explains. My dear Lord, the devotees can see you. There is a process of hearing Krishna Katha. Through hearing. Through hearing, you see the Lord. And then you go and sit in their heart. And then you purify their heart. Then out of your causeless mercy, you appear in front of them the form that they like. Sadanugrahaya. It is your causeless mercy. Sadanugrahaya. Then in another verse, Brahmaji is praying, same chapter. Yasyavatara gunakarma vidambanani tannama ashuvigame vivashe grunanti. Tenaika samalam sahasai iva hitva samantam apavrita amritam, tad ajam ashraya. So this is another beautiful verse. Brahmaji is saying that, my dear Lord, yasyavatara gunakarma, you appear in various incarnations imitating the activities of human beings, and which is very bewildering. Vibhavayanti, vidambanani. And then anybody who remembers your name, any of these incarnations, at the time of death, even out of helplessness, then samalam means there is a mountain of sinful reactions. Sahasa iva hitva. They can give it up. Then apavritam amritam. They attain transcendental body. Right? So in the Sri Vaishnava Sampradaya, they have Varaha avatar. Whenever you go to Mathura, after taking darshan at Vishram Ghat, please go to two Varahadev temples are there. One is white Varaha, another is Kala Varaha, Krishna Varaha. How many of you have gone? Not gone? Varahadev? Every year we go there. Every year I make a point to go there. Take darshan in Janmasthan and all, go there, Vishram Ghat, and then in small lane, these two temples are there. Not many people go there. It's a very, very old Bhuvaraha temples, very old, and beautifully they take care of the deities. They dress the deities, very beautiful. Vrajavasis only they take care. So Lord Varahadev, he says that anybody who chanted my names when they are very healthy and all, right? If by chance they are dead and the body went into rigor mortis, even during that time, I come and chant the holy name and take him back to Godhead. This is Varaha Charma Shloka. I'll try to find that verse. I can share it on Bodhyanta Parasparam. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Sorry, I could not find. Shubhangi Mataji. Sthite manasi shushwasre sharire satiyo datu samye smarata vishwarupam mamajya tatasthum tu kasta pashana sannibham aham smarami bhaktam nahami paramagatim. Translation bhejo hai? Translation. So this is from Varaha Purana. Sthite manasi susvate sharire satiyo dhatu samye Smarata Vishwarupam Mamajya Tatastham Tu Kastha Pashana Sannidam Aham Smarami Bhaktam Nahami Paramagatim. So this is a Varaha Charma Shloka. Varahadev is giving a blessing that any, because when Varahadev appeared and then he rescued Bhudevi, when Varahadev is going back, Bhudevi was little morose. Then the Lord asked Bhudevi, what is the cause of your lamentation? Hare, all these living entities are there. How to deliver them? Then Varahadev gave this benediction. When they are healthy, when they are fit and fine, when they chanted my name, at the time of death, if they sent, I got that. When the mind is stable and the body is healthy, one should remember me, the universal form. Even if a devotee is unable to remember me at the end of their life, due to being unconscious or in a state like wood or stone, I will personally remember that devotee and grant them the ultimate supreme liberation. This is Varahadev. So Prabhupada writes, Nrsimhadev Bhavan, Lord Brahmaji was praying to the Lord after when Prahlad Maharaj prayers and all over. Then Brahmaji is praying to the Lord that, my dear Lord, anybody who remembers your form, who remembers your form, they can even conquer death. So Prabhupada writes in the purport that where usually the death is destined, but if you remember the form of Lord Nrsimhadev, you can overcome death also. Right? Then Ito Nrsimha, Parato Nrsimha, Yato Yato Yami Tato Nrsimha. Right? So this, then Lord Nrsimhadev, he is praying to, he is instructing Prahlad Maharaj. Ya etat kirtayet mahyam, tvaya gitam cha idam hi naraha, tvam cha mam cha smaran kale, muchante sarvakarmabhi. So Lord Nrsimhadev is giving instruction that those who recite the prayers offered by you, tvaya gitam cha idam hi naraha, Brahma daye suraguna munayeta siddha satvaikta tanagatayo vachasam pravahe naraditam puruganay na pipru kim toshtatarhati same harirugrajate. Right? So yes, we should remember these prayers and offer, especially when you go in front of Lord Nrsimhadev in Mayapur. Right? So Lord Nrsimhadev is giving benediction. Those who offer these prayers and those who remember you and those who remember me, Tvayacha Maicha Smaran Kale, they will become free from all karmic reactions, karma bihi. What is the cause of fear? Nanda Maharaj asked Parjanya Gop, his father. The cause of fear is karma. Karma. So because of performing karma, we keep on taking births. But if you remember Lord Nrsimhadev and Prahlad Maharaj and offer prayers by Prahlad Maharaj, how many of you know, many times I taught this, Om Namo Bhagavate Narsimhaya, Namaste Jaste Jase, Aviravir Bhava, Vajranaka, Karmasayam Randha, Tamo Grasa Grasa, Om Swaha, Abhayam Abhayam Atmani Bhuishta, Om Shraum, Om Namo Bhagavate Narsimhaya, Namaste Jaste Jase, Aviravir Bhava, Vajranaka, Tamstra, Karmasayam, Randhaya, Tamo Grasa Grasa, Om Swaha, Abhayam Abhayam Atmani Bhuishta, Om Shraum. So we have Narsingha, Sila is there. Say this prayer every day. Say this prayer every day. So Tamo Grasa Grasa, please destroy my Tamogun. Karmasayam randhaya randhaya. Desire for fruitive activities, you destroy. Vajranaka Vajranamstra. Vajrana, using your sharp nails, pierce my heart and destroy my karma, destroy my lust in my heart. One devotee, she did some service to Lord Nishingadev in our Mayapur temple, and then Lord Nishingadev pierced her heart and took out all the lust, and then he showed her, all black thing, lust, like that. Tadyachya manyus asuras atastvayadhyaya modeta sadhurapi vishtika sarpahatya lokamshcha nivritimitim pratyanti sarve rupam nasimha vibhayaya janasmaranti. Tadyachya manyus, Prabhupada's favorite verse. Many times he quoted this verse. Like that, all these incarnations, they appear to deliver all of us, so that they perform very wonderful pastimes. And then Narada Muni instructs Dhruva Maharaj that Svechavatara Chariter Achintya Nijamayaya Karishyasi Uttama Shloka Dhyanat Hridayangamam. He instructed that Svechavatara Chariter, all these wonderful pastimes of different incarnations, in your heart, you should meditate on them. Narada Muni instructed, to Dhruva Maharaj, Karishyasi Uttama Shloke, Hridayam, Dhyanam, Hridayangamam. One should meditate on these wonderful pastimes. Like whenever Krishna would perform very wonderful pastimes, all the cowherd boys, they would come and narrate Krishna's pastimes. Right? Narrate Krishna's pastimes. Then they have a meeting in the evening time, and then all of them, they narrate Krishna's pastimes. Nanda Maharaj, all the gopas and the gopis, they sit and they enjoy, hearing Krishna's pastimes. Then the Sukadeva Goswami spoke one very beautiful verse. Iti nandadayo gopaha Krishna Rama katam mudha kurvanti ramamanasya na vidvan bhava vedanam. He says that when Nanda Gopadayo, iti Nanda Gopadayo Gopa, all these Nanda Maharaj and all the Gopas, when they were chanting, when they were hearing Krishna's pastimes, Rama, different, performed by Krishna, different pastimes, Ramakrishna Katam Muda. They have lost consciousness of material tribulations. They didn't become aware of material tribulations. So Vishnachaka Thakur comments, this verse is from 10th canto 11th chapter. You can go and read. Prabhupada, even now, Prabhupada writes, even now we can utilize this thing, that we can discuss Krishna's pastimes every day and forget all our material problems. Right? And then Vishnachaka Thakur writes that usually people, some sadhus and all, they used to come and instruct Nanda Maharaj, why didn't you do something about mukti? Go and take sannyas and go to the forest. Nanda Maharaj said, no, I am not interested. I am simply interested in hearing. Why are you discussing your child's activities all the time? You should meditate on Brahman. Then Nanda Maharaj mocked at them. What nonsense. Right? So Prabhupada writes, so even now we can utilize, this, right? Anugrahaya Bhaktanam. Manusha Dehinam Stita. Manusha Dehinam Stita. Bhajate Twadrisi Krida. Tatshutva Paro Yajet. He says, Sukadeva Goswami, after finishing Rasa Leela pastimes, Parikshit Maharaj asked, why did the Krishna perform these pastimes? Such, dancing with other men's wives and all. Then Sukadeva Goswami says this verse, Anugrahaya Bhaktanam. in order to show mercy on the devotees. Right? Dehina manusha stitaha. Then bhajate tvadrishi krida. Those who hear these wonderful pastimes, they will also attain, madhurya rasa. Right? Madhurya rasa. Like that. Then this famous verse is there. How many of you know? Vishnu Tat Prabhu, you know? Ishan Gaur Prabhu, you know? Vikriditam Rajavadu. Huh? Bolo? Huh? You know? Chaitanya Prabhu? Vikriditam Rajavadu idam cha Vishnu Shraddhayanvita Anushruniyad Varnane cha Bhaktir Bhagavati Param Kamam Hrudrogam api hinoti Dhira, something like that. So Vikriditam Vrajavadu idam cha Vishnu. Those who hear these wonderful pastimes, Anushunayot, by following in the footsteps of Acharyas, you Anushunayet, Varnayecha, those who narrate these pastimes, they will attain Krishna Bhakti in their heart, and then their heart disease, that is lust, will be cured, and then they will become Dhira. Dhira. So, even though we don't narrate these wonderful pastimes, on regular basis we should read Krishna book, and then when we are reading Krishna book, we can read those 5 chapters, Ras Panchadhyaya. Then our greatest enemy, lust, will disappear. Right? That is why Maharaj Kulashekara is praying that Madana Parihara Stitim Madiye Manasi Mukunda Charana Aravinda Dhamni Haranayana Krushanana Krushoshi Smarasina Chakra Parakramam Murare. He is giving a warning to Manmatha. Hey Manmatha, you are a trespasser. Actually, my heart belongs to Krishna. Because I have forgotten Krishna, Krishna left my heart. You have occupied my heart. Now again I am starting to remember Krishna, Chakradhari. I am giving you warning. Have you forgotten? Haranayana Krishanana Krishoshi. Lord Shiva burnt you to ashes and then you became Ananga. But you remember, Krishna is Chakradhari. He is more powerful than Lord Shiva. Whatever body is left, that body also will not be there. So I request you, please leave this place. You are a trespasser. Right? So that is like that. That is why he says, Chintayami harireva santatam mandamandha samudita nandagopatanayam paratparam naradadi munivrinda vanditam. So that's why he's saying, I don't want any liberation and all. My dear Lord, what then? In the previous verse he says, Diviva bhuviva mamastuva so narakeva narakantaka prakamam avadirita sharadar vindo charanopi maranopi chintayami. I don't mind Diviva bhuviva mamastuva so wherever you put narakeva narakantaka prakamam. Oh, narakantaka. Narakantaka means finisher of Narakaloka. One meaning. Means for devotees, he finishes off Narakaloka Prapti. Another meaning is killer of Narakasur, Narakantaka. I don't mind going wherever I am. I have only one desire. Avadirita Sharadar window. In the autumn season, when the lotus flower blooms, it looks very, very beautiful. Your lotus feet are like that. Your lotus feet are like that. I want to remember Avadita Sarada, Charanopiyam, at the time of death. I want to remember those lotus feet. Then meanwhile, what you want? Chintayami harireva santatam. I always want to remember you, Hari. That's why in commentary on Gajendra Moksha. The Lord who appeared in front of Gajendra is Sri Hari. Right? So as soon as you wake up in the morning, you should say, Boliye, Sri Hari, Sri Hari, Sri Hari. Like that 7 times you should say. As soon as you just wake up. And then remember Gajendra. Gajendra caught by crocodile. Lord Krishna sitting on the Garuda. Yeah? And then Lord Shiva, Brahma, all the demigods, they are assembled in the sky. The Sarovar, all the beautiful flowers in a garden. You should remember as soon as you wake up in the morning. So every day I chant these Gajendra Moksha prayers as soon as I wake up. By the time I finish taking bath and wearing dhoti, Gajendra Moksha prayer also finished. अभी जल्दी हो जाता है और एक like that. I made it a custom. You know, when you wake up in the morning, you remember previous day's activities early in the morning. उसके साथ झगड़ा हो गया, इसके साथ झगड़ा हो गया, ये हो गया, वो हो गया. Right? अभी then you think about what to do. Right? Then your whole consciousness becomes polluted. But chant Gajendra Moksha prayers. Remember, Gajendra Moksha prayers every day morning. Then you don't think about previous day's activities. Because unless you focus your mind, that's why I always recommend in my classes, learn the verses. How to control your mind. Learn the verses. You want to follow Manmanabha Madbhakta verse. For that, Prabhupada inspired me. Learn the verses. While recollecting, while chanting Hare Krishna mantra, mind is running here and there. But still, the mouth goes on. Right? But for recollecting the verses, if your mind is distracted, you cannot recollect the verse. You have to focus your mind. You have to focus your mind. You have to focus your ears. You have to focus your tongue. Then repeat the verse. Like that, when you remember the verse, then you will remember the pastime also. Right? Manmana Bhavat to ho jata hai. Aisa. Right? Learn the verses. Brahmacharis, Swadhyaya. For Brahmacharis, Swadhyaya is very important. Take, like other day I was seeing, Chaitanya Avatar Prabhu. I think he's reading Chaitanya Charitamrita and learning verses. He's quoting shlokas. Right? Not that, laptop pakad gaye, हम किधर laptop, mobile भी use नहीं किया. I was just speaking, right? Brahmacharis should speak like that. No laptop, no mobile phone, no notes. Learn, remember, Brahmachari, that is the duty of Brahmacharis. Note बनाया, इसका lecture सुना, उसका lecture सुना, notes बनाया, repeat कर दिया, और गया. But you learn the verses. And you remember the pastimes, right? You remember the pastimes. Like that. You practice this process. My age is 61, I forget. Sometimes when I go to my donor's place, I forget donor's name. Then I ask, आपका नाम लिख दो ना, मेरा हाथ दुख रहा है, क्योंकि उसका नाम भूल गया. But shlokas I remember because so all of you are very young, If somebody had told me when I was young, otherwise everybody keeps giving class. क्या फायदा है श्लोका क्यों लर्निंग करने का, ये है वो है, फालतू है. Oh, you should learn the verses. I would have by-hearted half of the Bhagavatam, like that. So remember the verses and chintayami harireva santatam. Right? Like for example, I memorized all the verses from 10th canto 9th chapter. Most of the, almost 90% of it. Damodar Leela. I know all the verses. Yani, Yani, Gitani, Tadbala, Charitani. When I chant the verses, the pastime will appear, in my heart. Then I know half of the verses of Putana Moksha. I chant those verses, then Putana pastime will appear in my heart. This is how Chintayami Harireva Santata. Nandago Manda Manda Has Muditana Mujam. Nandagopatanayam Paratparam. Naradadi Muni Vrindavandita. So, I'll close this lecture by quoting one verse that ninth canto, last chapter. Kalau Janasya Mananam Dukkha Shoka Tamonudau Anugrahaya Bhaktanam Sa Punyat Yashanod Yaha Yatanod Yashaha. Says, in order to benefit the people of Kali Yuga, the Lord has performed to show the mercy, Anugrahaya Bhaktana, to show mercy on devotees. He performed all these wonderful pastimes. Because people are affected by Dukkha, Shoka and Tama. Dukkha, Shoka and Tama. And Yasmin Sat Karna Piyusho, those who hear these wonderful pastimes, Yashaha Tirtavara Sakrit. Right? Shrotraanjalir Upasparsha Dhunoti Kamavasana. Those who hear these wonderful pastimes, when they touch, these pastimes touch their hearts through the ears, right? Their Kamavasana becomes vanquished. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Grandhra Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai.